Hey everyone, welcome to my March 2023 book haul. As my chair creaks, it's not a good way to start a video, but this was in fact a video series I started because I really enjoyed watching other people's book haul videos. I just love, as a bona fide bibliophile, I love just getting off, not in that way, just like getting stimulated by watching, probably even in that way, who knows, getting stimulated by watching other people's book haul videos. So I thought, hey, I do a monthly book haul, so why not I start a similar series too. Without further ado, let's get started with the first book. The first one, of course, is a classic, my favorite love story for sure, Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. Now, I'm going through a bit of a debate whether I'm more of a Emily Brontë, Wuthering Heights kind of person, or a Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice kind of person, a bit more conservative. But I think the more I think about it, I'm perhaps a bit of both. I think initially I'm a bit of a Wuthering Heights, and then eventually I go to the Jane Austen kind of conservative kind of love. So it's really interesting. I've read this book before for sure, but I bought this one because I wanted a physical copy, because I'm in fact writing a writing an essay series on love, believe it or not. And I thought, and I was referring to this book in many parts of the essay series. I'm currently working on part 2. So already released the first part, which I called it Why Love Matters, and it is love, not sex, that needs liberation. And a beautiful quote from the book is, in fact, I found it in this book. It says here, so Catherine, this is what she says about Heathcliff. If all else perished and he remained, I should still continue to be. And if all else remained and he were annihilated, the universe would turn to a mighty stranger. Just what a beautiful line. And for me, that really encompasses a lot of what love is, at perhaps even a metaphysical level, but certainly existentially, given that I've really been in love once in my life. And I thought that was beautiful. The next book is, of course, a classic. I'm going to get on this soon because I realize I've been heavily interested in Lacan and Žižek and Hegel and all of that whole world, but my knowledge on psychoanalysis is nil. So I thought I should probably start off with the interpretation of dreams by Freud, of course. Pretty much a starting text for psychoanalysis. I've only read his other book, Civilization and Its Discontents. Great read, but I need to get through this. So this is certainly going to be the next book that I'm going to read. It's on my my pile next to my bed, which is kind of my pipeline of books to read. So certainly a book I'm keen to read. And then the next one is another one, Nietzsche's Human, All Too Human. I've been referring to this book quite a lot in some of the writing I've been doing, and even some of the conversations I've been having. And I realized I've only got a PDF, and while I do really appreciate PDFs, since I'm privileged enough to be able to afford buying hardcover or paperback books or physical books, I truly enjoy the book itself physically, because it's just, there's something about it. So I just thought I'll buy it, and this is one of Nietzsche's interesting ones. I think he kind of gets into the whole post-humanism kind of that strain of his philosophy that a lot of especially philosophy bros online don't really talk about, because they treat Nietzsche as a self-help guy. But Human, All Too Human, and certainly Genealogy of Morals are quite interesting. This one, another classic, Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway. I haven't read any Virginia Woolf books. I've probably read a few short stories by her somewhere, but I'm part of a book club. One of my friends, she organizes a lovely book club. It's something I really enjoy. It brings me a lot of joy in my life every month. And we'll be doing this book in the book club. Therefore, I bought this, so I'm keen to get into some Virginia Woolf. And then we have Žižek's I think this is one of his best books, I think, For They Know Not What They Do. This, again, is the reason I bought this was because of my writing. I own a PDF, and I've been referring to a lot of his work here, especially even the recent video I uploaded on the superego imperative of our times is enjoy. And there's a really good chapter where he goes on about how Freud was saying that he couldn't psychoanalyze the Slovenian. It was being a bit racist actually. Freud, the Slovene, whereas he could psychoanalyze some bourgeois British person. And there's an interesting line here where Žižek, in fact, he goes. Actually, I don't think I'm going to read the whole thing, but I'll read a bit of it. It goes here. How do we account for this paradox that the absence of law universalizes prohibition? There's only one possible explanation. Enjoyment itself, which we experience as transgression, is in its innermost status something imposed, ordered. When we enjoy, we never do it spontaneously. We always follow a certain injunction. The psychoanalytical name for this obscene injunction, for this obscene call, enjoy, is superego. A great little excerpt there. And I'm also working on another video, a bit more of a casual video, which is based on something I was writing. In fact, on this essay, the one I showed before, Why Love Matters, and where I kind of touch on this idea of why we should not aspire to be our best self. You know, a lot of the self-help world go on and on about living this perfect best life, be fulfilled, and just it's honestly to a point of it's frustrating because we're constantly told the superego imperative is be your best self, self-actualize, be fulfilled, be healthy. Is no wonder there's this obsession with people like Andrew Huberman. I think his podcast is one of the most popular podcasts right now because in some sense, with the death of God, and I'm not trying to make a Christian claim here where I'm saying, oh, when God dies, something else takes its vacuum. That's true. Something always plays the role of the big other, and then there's also the superego injunction. But it's a bit more nuanced because in some sense, we in fact are worshipping ourselves. We in fact are worshipping health. Health itself becomes, we bestow it something beyond even like a biological reality of being human. It's more we bestow it metaphysical properties, and that's why there's kind of obsession with self-help and well-being and whatnot, which is okay to a certain extent. These things are all good. I'm not being prescriptive here, but books like this, especially Žižek's one, this explain where this imperative comes from. I mean, gosh, these days being unhealthy or smoking or doing something that's clearly not benefiting your health is it's like it's heresy. It's blasphemy. One should never do such thing. It's angering the gods of our time, and I find that quite interesting. And I love how Žižek points that out. The next one, I'm hoping to do a video series or like a book review video on this. On the note, I'm in fact writing the script for a book review on one of my favorite books, this tiny little book by Peter Rollins, How to Not Speak of God, one of my favorite theologians. So just on the note, I'll be doing a book review on this, but then I'll also be doing a book review on this by the YouTuber Kak Philosophy, Jonas Ceika, I believe that's how his name is pronounced. I am really keen to read and do the book review on How to Philosophize with a Hammer and Sickle. So that is another book that I bought. Then of course, this one right here. I can't wait to get into this. Gilles Deleuze's Nietzsche and Philosophy. So many people have recommended this book. Well, not so many people. A lot of people who take philosophy and theory seriously have recommended this book, especially given that I read a lot of Nietzsche. I'm really keen to get Gilles Deleuze's take on this. And then this one here, another really important book for me that I want to get into this year, especially because I'm writing a book. I'm writing a book on Christian socialism. I don't know what the book will be called, but the themes are something to do with Christian socialism. And it's The Socialist Decision by Paul Tillich. So I'm probably going to read a lot of books with similar themes to do with socialism and leftism and Christianity. And I thought this is a good book to start with, given that I'm really keen to kind of elucidate these ideas and write a book about it, really, because it's something that I think is much needed, that kind of theory. That's it. Those are the books for March 2023. I don't know if I said this is the book haul for March 2023. Regardless, those are the books I bought. Let me know what you think or don't. I mean, you probably don't really care. It's just my books. But hopefully you, as I always say in the previous book haul videos, you got some kind of intellectual, not intellectual, more like just if you're a bibliophile, some kind of stimulation or joy from this video just watching the books that I've bought, because I certainly do get it from other book haul videos. But also, importantly, as I always say, apart from just that, but apart from just the aesthetic pleasure you get, I also hope that it inspires you to read some of these authors, because that's one of the best ways to get into some of these books, just hearing a name somewhere, and then you Google it, oh, what does this author do? And then you kind of get into it deeply. It's probably one of the best ways to get an education on matters, especially as dense as philosophy or psychoanalysis or theology, in this case, in the case of this book, I mean. Cool, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next book haul video, or any other video that I'll be uploading soon. Cheers.